Vola Anguela o veteranu, ako itabua. Ako do talitain na barong na Bula FM, nambanduan na seri.
Bula, alang gono ilutoka do talita ka ng Bula FM berarti ni nambanduan na seri.
Ni Bula binaka, nandraking ko sa Bula FM nga, nakasi.
Nalang ko sa mundo achieve ng Bula FM nambanduan na seri nusuri.
Ni Bula binaka, nalang ko Jerry, yang may lambasa. Do barong nga ng Bula FM, nambanduan.
Bula FM, nambanduan na seri.
In the news tonight, TC Sarai heads our way. Prime Minister assures nation. And people get ready for possible effects of the cyclone.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Amrita Sagar.
Tropical cyclone Sarai is now a Category 2 system. The cyclone still expected to make a southeast track and affect most places later tonight and tomorrow. As of 3 p.m. today, the center was located 150 kilometers west of Viwa, or approximately 200 kilometers west of Nandi. For more on this, we join Felipe Naikaso live. Felipe, has there been any changes to the projected path of the cyclone?
Yes, thanks, Amrita. Just a while ago, the Fiji Met Services has sent out a statement saying that the tropical cyclone Sarai has been upgraded to a Category 2 system. And I have with me here the director, Mr. Funaki, Misael Funaki, who will elaborate more on what can we expect going into tonight. Sir, just for the Western Division, as you've mentioned, the Category 2 system now for tropical cyclone Sarai, what can people, especially in the Western Division, expect from tonight into tomorrow morning?
As you rightfully stated, tropical cyclone Sarai was upgraded into a Category 3 system, 2 system at 4 p.m. today. But as you can see around us, members of the public, especially in the Western Division, should expect the damaging gale force winds to continue on into tonight. And we are all aware that it has been raining for quite some time in the various parts of Itilebu, and all the rain will eventually find its way down into the main streams. So we should expect the windy condition, storm force winds for some places, and also the gale force winds for majority of the Western Division as we speak tonight.
So just what will the system bring, especially in terms of rain? Is that you anticipating a lot of rainfall of when it hovers around the country?
As you've rightfully stated, we're expecting a lot of rain as we speak, not only because of the system, but we also got to bear in mind that it has been raining significantly for the last 12 to even 18 hours. Some of the places have been recording rainfall of almost 200 millimeters. So with more rain coming, this will lead to flooding. So the threat right now is not only for the low-lying and flood-prone areas, but eventually all these low-lying flood-prone areas, or the water that comes out of them, will eventually find its way into the major streams, which could also lead to floodings along the major rivers.
So just lastly, just from tomorrow onwards, and what can Fijians expect with TC Sarai? When will it move out of the Fiji waters?
Thank you. Currently it is moving towards the south, but as we've mentioned, eventually from the later part of tonight and into tomorrow, we expect the tropical cyclone Sarai to take a gradual southeastward turn. So in moving towards the southeast, it is anticipated to move very close towards Vatulele, Kandavu, and even towards the southern part of the Lau group. So as we speak, there is also a storm force warning that has been enforced for Vatulele, Kandavu, and also will eventually be enforced for the parts of the Fiji group that are in the direct threat of tropical cyclone Sarai.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Felipe, for that update. Prime Minister Vorenga Bainimarama has been briefed on tropical cyclone Sarai by the National Disaster Management Office. Speaking to FBC News after the briefing, Bainimarama has assured the nation that the government machinery is on top of things. He has called on Fijians to ensure they have taken all necessary precautions. The Prime Minister has also confirmed that all arms of government are now on standby.
Everything well looked after by the team. There seems to be, besides a bit of rain, everything seems to be normal right now.
And your message to Fijians?
Well, always look after yourself during hurricane season, especially today.
The National Disaster Management Office is tonight monitoring TC Sarai and making projections to ensure that timely advice is given to Fijians. Director Vasiti Soko says they're active in all divisions and people in vulnerable areas must adhere to warnings from the Nandi Weather Office. Edwin Nunn reports.
The National Disaster Management Office has been operating 24/7, staying one step ahead of TC Sarai.
The cyclone path that has been issued by the Met Office, we are currently using that to forecast or do forward planning in terms of potential area of interest.
Director NDMO Vasiti Soko says their offices around Fiji have been active since Christmas Day to be able to pinpoint areas at risk.
We have had the 4 commissioners working with the district officers on the ground as we speak, exploring and as well as inspecting possible threats. This includes road closure as well as fallen trees and other threats that will need our attention.
All non-essential civil services are reduced to skeleton crew and evacuation centers are on standby Fiji-wide. For now, the NDMO is advising everyone to pay close attention to weather warnings.
The rain will continue to reach us on a strong force, and I ask the general public to please adhere to warnings again.
Advisories will continue to be issued throughout the evening. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
We now cross live to Edwin Nund, who is out tonight keeping tabs on the weather conditions.
Amrita, I'm in Tonga Road along the Rewa River right now, standing literally a few feet away from the waterline of the Rewa River. Now that tells you that the water level in Rewa River itself is above normal levels. If you can see across the river, there is a school and some houses which are at risk should Rewa River burst its bank, given the heavy rainfall that is being forecast later tonight. But the real danger right now in Rewa, if you can see, is the strong winds. I'm right now having a lot of difficulty standing upright. I don't know if you can hear me above the billowing winds which are blowing through Rewa right now. Even our camera equipment is about to fall over. This is a very risky situation to be in right now. If you are at home, don't go outside, it is too risky. We've just had some iron roofs blow off of a shed about 10 feet away from us, and that could have been very dangerous for us as well. So we will be leaving this situation as soon as I'm done with this report. For anyone who's thinking of being out as night falls, don't do it. If you haven't made it home, if you haven't been able to get to your loved ones, find shelter as close as you can, get indoors and stay indoors, because as TC Sarai nears, we will feel stronger winds and heavy rain, and in the dark that is too risky for anyone to be outdoors. Now I can also tell you that there have been a few people as we arrived in Rewa who were returning home. Some were walking home. That should not be the case. If you have not been able to make it home, I can actually see some people walking behind us right now as if they're out on a casual walk. We'd advise people to avoid that as much as possible. Now, referring to the National Disaster Management Office, I can confirm that there are, as of now, 63 people in evacuation centers around the country due to the tropical cyclone Sarai. 26 people are taking shelter at Matawalu Pentecostal Church in Lautoka. 21 people are at Maratha Hall in Wailoku, and 16 people are taking shelter at Tokou Village in Ovalau. The National Disaster Management Office is advising people living in low-lying areas to move to higher ground now, as tropical cyclone Sarai is expected to intensify and bring more heavy rain and strong winds. The warning for people living in low-lying areas is all the more important for the Rewa Delta, which is a flood-prone area. There are a number of communities which are repeatedly affected by floodwaters every time there is a tropical cyclone. And if you are living in those areas, please take precautions now while there is still some daylight left, and get to higher ground, secure your homes and secure your families and your livestock. Amrita.
Thank you for that advice, Edwin. Now, a flood warning is in place for low-lying areas and those downstream of the Nairukuruku village of the Wainimala River. A flood alert remains for low-lying areas and those adjacent to the Koravo River and downstream of Nayavu Station. A flash flood warning is still in place for low-lying areas, small streams and areas adjacent to major rivers in the Central Division. This is also now in force for low-lying areas and small streams of the Western Division. The next high tide is at 8:16 p.m. Heavy rain and strong wind have already started to batter Lautoka City as Category 2 tropical cyclone Sarai continues to loom over the Fiji group. Some people are now buckled down in their homes while others aren't taking warnings seriously. Some people have already had to shift to evacuation centers. Lautoka has the highest number of people in evacuation centers as yet, with 26 people taking shelter at Matawalu Pentecostal Church in Lautoka. 63 people are now taking shelter in 3 evacuation centers, which have opened as Tropical Cyclone Sarai intensifies. The National Disaster Management Office is advising those living in low-lying areas to move to higher ground now, as TC Sarai is expected to intensify from tonight with more rain and strong wind. Evacuation centers are on standby in other areas, and they will open as and when needed by those affected. Well, up ahead, people batter down for TC Sarai. Details after the break.
Hi, Bula. I'm Sarai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, my name is Sotiama here in Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, I'm Miri. I'm from Lautoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Rakiraki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Residents living in Nandi are bracing for the west as TC Sarai is expected to bring its full brunt later tonight. Fijians were seen out in the early morning of today stocking up on their essential items and also securing their homes. Felipe Naikaso has more.
Not taking any chances, people living in Nawaka are securing their homes to ensure they are safe tonight.
I was running all my house to get ready. I was putting all the shutters because the wind is so high over here, so we should be prepared.
Since the morning, people living in Nandi have been following the weather updates as they don't want to get caught out.
Put the shutters and everything for the cyclone and tie the rope, everything. And I just went to park my car up near the hospital, so we get ready for the cyclone.
Meanwhile, FBC News also visited a few supermarkets earlier today and witnessed a number of people doing last-minute shopping for rations.
Like we have done our Christmas shopping and they're enough, but still, you know, the teen foods, some water and things like that. The things that can work in for the cyclone, like as I said, teen food and some final preparations, just like that, kerosene and things.
Businesses in Nandi were also on half day today as they prepare for Tropical Cyclone Sarai. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
With Tropical Cyclone Sarai affecting most parts of the Central Division, Fijians were today seen not taking any risks as they tied down their homes. FBC News spoke to residents in Wailea and Ganji settlement today, only to find out that their worst fear lies in what could be a repeat of Tropical Cyclone in 2016. Kelly Vidala reports that residents are taking disaster advisories seriously.
Majority of these houses were cyclone ready since this morning, but there were others who did last-minute preparations.
About the cyclone, it was reaching Yasawa, so we had no choice but to put up shutters, because previously we know very well what Winston did 3 years ago, and we just want to make sure it doesn't happen again.
We're just preparing for Cyclone Sarai because we want to be safe.
Wailea resident Yogesh Kumar says his family have been listening to the weather advisory through the radio and even online.
Putting shutters on the windows and porch, tying up the roof, that's it. Everybody should prepare for themselves. Don't go for the last minute.
As we visited Wailea settlement in Watuwanga, people were in the final stages of securing their property, not taking any chances as they say they're fearful of what has happened in the past.
We just want to be safe. We want our families to be safe. We don't want any lives lost in a cyclone like in Winston.
it's better to be prepared than sorry. So we're just ensuring our roof is strong enough.
Well, you've seen what we've done. We're preparing, we bought food and weather lights. We bought many things just for the cyclone. We never knew which one, how strong will be the cyclone. So we try our best.
It's not only about securing their homes, but also ensuring livestock were kept safe. If TC Sarai does affect these communities tonight or later tomorrow, nearby evacuation centers are also on standby. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Kelly is in the capital tonight. Kelly, are there still people around in the city as Suva also braces for TC Sarai?
Yes, Amrita, it's actually good to see that people are making an effort to stay safe. They're taking precautionary measures very seriously that's been issued from relevant authorities because they do know what a cyclone can do. Talking about TC Winston in 2016, I'm here at Flagstaff and people are still rushing into the supermarket behind me to do their last-minute shopping. Despite the strong wind and the occasional showers this afternoon, people are buying the necessities rather. They're getting cyclone ready. And even though, it's still the holiday season, people are still allowed to buy a lot of booze and enjoy the day. And that's what they've been doing. I've been standing here for the past 20 minutes. People not only buying the necessities, canned food and water and candles and batteries, but also alcohol to ensure they do still enjoy the day. Amrut.
Well, that's interesting to note. The Fiji Police Force Task Force team is on standby to assist Fijians as and when the need arises, as the effect of Tropical Cyclone Sarai is being felt in most parts of the country. The force is liaising closely with the National Disaster Management Office and the Republic of the Fiji Military Forces. Koroi Tandulala reports.
The police force is ready to provide assistance to the public.
Right now we have like 20-man task force team on standby now. In all divisions, and we have the police special response unit. Okay, they will have like 30+ men on standby. Okay, and that number may beef up should the situation demands. But at this stage, so we're having those numbers on standby at the moment.
ACP Maritino Ngyolevu adds Fijians should also play a proactive role by prioritizing their safety and has urged them to avoid unnecessary movement as the threat of TC Sarai looms.
But for those on loitering, yes, this is the time too where criminal elements take advantage of the weather situations for their own agenda. But let me warn you guys that police is vigilant too. We are running the operations in parallel with the cyclone operations, and we are there to tackle things as it comes.
We are actually operating with full staff, including members of the RFMF, the Fiji Police Force, and the Navy. We are working very closely with the divisional commissioners, the 4 divisional commissioners. Emergencies or situations on the weather and the response that are happening in all 4 districts will be reported through the different divisional commissioners and then to our NEOC. The skeleton stuff I'd mentioned earlier was the ministries.
Public is being urged to act responsibly and pay heed to all the warnings given by the respective authorities. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
The Republic of the Fiji Military Forces is also on standby should the need for disaster relief efforts arise. Commander Rear Admiral Viliame Naupoto says platoons in Nandi and Lautoka are ready with reinforcements who will later be joined by 3 FIR officers and engineers from Suva. Senia Nimboila reports.
While over 100 soldiers in the Western Division are ready to assist when the need arises, the RFMF has asked officers on leave to report to work tomorrow.
We are getting our full recall from tomorrow. So from tomorrow we all full back in. But right now here in Nambuni we have approximately 40 people who are on standby. Some of them are going to go across to the west this afternoon.
Commander Viliame Naupoto says they will also deploy standby teams to the outer islands if the need arises.
Both from the 3 FIR and engineers. This afternoon they're traveling down to the west to go and help our troops over there who are on standby. We have also here in Suva, we have our engineers who are standby. I'm really visiting them today, getting the tools and everything ready. Also with 3 FIR all on standby. The Navy are also securing their ships, and certainly they will be ready to deploy.
The RFMF received aid from the Chinese government, which will also help in the disaster relief efforts. This includes fuel and water trucks and troop movement vehicles.
Yes, today as we are on standby for Sarai, we are also receiving these vehicles from China as their aid to us. It's a combination of different types of vehicles that will help us do our job.
The Republic of the Fiji military forces will be closely collaborating with the National Disaster Management Office as tropical cyclone Sarai moves closer to the group from tonight. Sainian Imboila, FBC News.
Up ahead, police aware of opportunists. More on this after the break.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot.
Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's number one.
It was a choice that retailers needed to make on their own, whether to continue business operation as usual or close early to minimize risks of the adverse weather. Fiji Retailers Association President Vinay Kumar says a lot of common sense prevailed and shops closed around midday. Apinisa Wangairadovu has more.
Many shops in Suva closed by midday as the capital city continued experiencing heavy rain and power fluctuations.
So the town is closed now. Most of the businesses are closed now. And since we're not a regulatory body, the only regulatory body in this comes is DISMAC. They can give advice, but we can only advise, and it was up to individual business owners to close the shop as they see fit.
The Retailers Association is pleased with the support from the police officers.
And so we see a lot of presence of the police all over town, and he's assured me today that they've got a standby team with SSC and the police in case if there's any emergencies, things like that. So, but I'm pretty much confident the police are doing a good job and they will be around in town because most of the businesses are shut. So I understand the security issue and he is well aware of that. So we have a lot of faith in him and he's doing a brilliant job right now. So the Tatonga police officers will be all around, walking around town today.
The police chief of operations says while businesses can make their own choice on the opening hours, they need to be mindful of the risks this adverse weather possesses.
Please keep tab of this and contact us as soon as possible if the things that may happen or any crime or any criminal that come in and would like to perhaps rob them or whatever. Yeah, and for also business houses, please be responsible as well in opening of businesses as the weather may escalate. Okay, surely they will be helping customers to buy like candles and all those things. And I think they too should be looking after their safety as well.
Businesses are being reminded that while police patrol will be done, they need to ensure that their premises are secured. Apenisa Wangarandobu, FBC News.
While many Fijians rush to prepare for the impending cyclone, taxi operators have been asked to keep serving. The Fiji Taxi Association says operators were informed to take necessary precautions and prepare themselves and return to work to assist Fijians in getting to safety. As Apenisa Wangairadovu reports, drivers have also been urged to take precautionary measures while providing services in flood risk areas.
Taxi operators remained in operation in many parts of the country, and the association says operators will use their own judgment on when to halt service.
When the weather gonna be bad, then we're gonna be stop the service, but we're gonna be trying to give a service to all the public to clear the town first before they're gonna be closed down the service.
Speaking to FBC News earlier this afternoon, the Fiji Bus Operators Associations have also highlighted bus companies needed to make their own decision in determining their service to Fijians.
The operation will continue where feasible and anywhere where it falls subject to danger, flooding, etc. Our members will use their discretion to make a decision to stop operating.
Maritime clearance for all ships has also been ceased for immediate effect until further notice. The Maritime Safety Authority says only emergency evacuation runs will be done as required. Apenisa Wangarandobu, FBC News.
With tropical cyclone Sarai expected to drift southeast from tonight, most provincial council offices around the country took the lead role in assisting villages in their respective provinces. Assistant Rokutui for the Ba province says he has been liaising with village representatives in the Yasawas this afternoon and confirmed that no reports of casualties or injuries have been received by the provincial office. Jose Nanunga reports.
The safety of villages in times of natural hazard remains a priority for the 14 provincial councils around the country.
And for us, our job is to get in contact with all the Turangani corridors of the villages that are under our jurisdiction and the Matinitikina, informing them of the update of the weather status, and also get information from the village to the emergency operation centers.
Matadaw Lebu villager from Yasawa, Apisaino Watumbuli, says members of the community took heed of advice from relevant authorities to avoid chaos during and after disaster.
The villages are still at their own homes. Evacuation centers have been provided, the village halls. We are still experiencing heavy rains and the intensifications of the wind. The boats, we have currently placed the boats onto the shores because this morning when we woke up, I think 6 fiber boats have drowned in the ocean due to the strong current.
The assistant Rokutui is pleased with the response from the villages within the province.
The villages are preparing well. There's been taking pictures of people nailing shutters and fastening the roof, just because they don't want to have a repetition of what happened in 2016.
Meanwhile, the Rokutui Lomaibiti Emosi Danyongo has told FBC News that as of this afternoon, he has contacted the Matanitikinas and Turangani Koro to ensure the safety of villages in the Lomaibiti group. He also stated that the group is currently experiencing strong winds and heavy downpour. Jose Nununga, FBC News.
Businesses started taking precautionary measures earlier today and closed down early. Prior to that, a number of people were present in Lambasa town and were spotted doing their last-minute shopping, especially building materials and basic food items. Just like other parts of the country, Lambasa also experienced some rain and wind as TC Sarai makes its way to Fiji. People also took out time to secure their homes and belongings. Up ahead, more on TC Sarai. Details after the break.
Volangwela o veteronugu hoi tabua aku do talitaina na barongo na Bula FM nambandu na sere Bula alang gonoa ilotoka do talita na Bula FM bertini nambandu na sere ni Bula binaka nanrege ngo sa Bula FM nga ena kasi nalang go sa mundu achiwe na Bula FM nambandu na sere nusuri ni Bula binaka nalang go Jerry yang melambasa do barongo na Bula FM
Bula FM number 2 and 7.
Residents along the Suva-Lami corridor also took heed of the weather warnings and were out early morning doing their last-minute grocery shopping. Keeping in mind the weekend, people stocked as much basic food items as possible. Catherine Krishna caught up with a few people and files this report.
Chope Tundreu, who is here for holidays, says the cyclone caught him by surprise, but he is doing everything to take care of his family in Lami.
I think you really think about families, and families are always helping out. Like this morning, we had to put up the shutters, and I was quite fortunate that I have my uncles and cousins that are around, so they help out with preparations.
Tundreu says they felt the effects of tropical cyclone Sarai from this morning.
The news, we were not prepared about the cyclone, and then just this morning we saw the winds, so we thought we'd come and get prepared for tomorrow especially.
Sailosi Taitusi from Suvavo village in Lami says he is buying enough food items that will last him until next week.
I just bought some the easy food.
We now go live to Catherine Krishna. Catherine, we are in studio, but how is it out there in the open?
Amrita, I'm here at the Silver Point, and we have been experiencing really windy conditions here in the capital city. It is almost high tide, and as you can see behind me, the waves are a bit rough than usual. As for during the day, we saw many Fijians rush to their nearby shops and supermarkets to do their last-minute shopping, and that is to stock up on food items and other necessities like water. We also spoke to a lot of Fijians who were out there doing their shopping, and they had told FBC News that they did not expect the weather to deteriorate as it has now. As for during the midday, we could hardly see people in the capital city because most people were taking weather bulletins and weather reports really seriously. We also saw some senior citizens rush to their nearby pharmacies to stock up on their medicines, and we also saw parents stock up on baby formulas and their food as we approach the weekend, and they anticipate the weather to deteriorate in the next 2 days. As for now, what people can do is people are being advised to stay indoors. Fiji Met Office has also revealed that the cyclone is now a Category 2 cyclone. So Fijians are being advised to stay indoors and keep themselves updated with the latest weather bulletin. Amrita.
Thanks, Catherine. The weather is absolutely terrible out there. Now, the only thing residents living in the Waikasanaura area situated in Wainandoi, Navua, is having access to the main town cut off. Residents say whenever it rains in these areas, access is always cut off as one of the main roads get flooded. 30-year-old Ronit Prasad says people in the area have already prepared for the worst. He says after Winston, they do not want to be caught off guard again. Ndondro in Ba has also been experiencing the effects of tropical cyclone Sarai. Now, resident Shito Sivangi says everyone in the area has put on shutters on their windows and secured their roofs. She also says they have dismantled all sheds, which may be a threat should the wind pick up strength. Shivangi says everyone is aware of their nearest evacuation center, and as a close-knit community, they all assist each other as and when the need arises. Well, the Fijian government today signed the exchange of notes with the government of Japan regarding a standby loan on disaster risk management. The Attorney General, Ayased Kayum, says the funding comes at the right time as Fiji is in the cyclone season. Syed Kayum says once a disaster notice is given, the facility can be used up. This is a very lucrative facility with a 0.01% interest rate is being provided on the loan. Well, that is our special coverage on Tropical Cyclone Sarai. Remember, you can catch all the latest on the weather all throughout the night on our 6 radio stations and our website, as well as our social media pages. You can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News, or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or hashtag FBC News. And that was your news for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Modemanda.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulalo. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot.
Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's #1.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग खाली मिर्ची FM सुनता. Gold Town Tava में मिर्ची FM दागो मामा.
Mirchi FM. It's hot.